Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing something a little different, maybe a bit meta, but I think it's incredibly useful if you're looking to understand how complex ideas get, well, distilled and shared effectively.
Right. It's like we're looking behind the curtain.
Exactly. We're not just reading the recipe today, we're kind of analyzing the chef's notes on how to write a great recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Our source material isn't actually the Millionaire's 5 Habits.
Oh,
It's titled The Millionaire's Blueprint: 5 Habits for Success, which, and this is the fascinating part, is really a set of instructions for creating content about those habits.
yeah. What really stands out here is that we're essentially looking at the design brief, you could say,
The design brief, I like that.
for how to take a topic that could be quite dense, success habits, and make it accessible and engaging.
Right.
And that raises a really interesting question, I think. What can we actually learn from the approach someone takes to communicating knowledge, even when we don't have the full knowledge itself right in front of us?
Exactly. It's looking at the process, not just the end product.
It is. It's very meta, like you said.
And I think that's where the real gold might be hidden today.
Huh.
This blueprint, it's not just a simple how-to guide. It feels more like a window into the psychology of, well, effective information transfer.
Sure. How to make things land.
Yeah. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to pull out the wisdom that's embedded within these instructions for creating content.
Okay.
The source itself explicitly says the aim is to create a fun and engaging podcast script titled 5 Habits of Self-Made Millionaires You Can Start Today.
Okay. That title tells us a lot already.
It does, doesn't it? It gives us a real sense of the goal, actionable insights, things presented in a way that feels immediately relevant to you, the listener.
Start today. Very direct.
Very direct. And crucially, it emphasizes that this content should use storytelling and examples from real life and make it beginner-friendly.
Right. Those three elements: storytelling, real-life examples, beginner-friendly.
So we're going to explore what these specific directives tell us about effective learning, about making information actually stick.
Because it really isn't just about what you learn, is it? It's so much about how that information is actually presented to you.
Definitely.
Think about it. Why do some facts or ideas just lodge themselves in your brain while others seem to just vanish?
Yeah, gone in 60 seconds.
This blueprint, it gives us some clues about that.
Okay, so let's start with that first directive then. Use storytelling. We hear this everywhere now, don't we? Marketing, education. But why? Why is it so powerful for learning?
Well, fundamentally, our brains seem to be hardwired for narrative. It's just how we operate.
Hardwired.
Yeah, think about it. From the earliest human societies, stories were the main way we transmitted knowledge, values, survival skills, everything.
Okay.
So when information gets embedded within a story, it stops being just like dry data. It becomes an
An
experience.
experience. Right.
Stories give you context, characters, a sequence of events. It all creates this kind of mental framework.
Like scaffolding for the idea.
Exactly. And that framework makes the information way more memorable and, crucially, more emotionally resonant than just a list of facts.
Oh, the emotional connection.
Yeah, it sort of bypasses the purely logical part of our brain sometimes and engages the emotional centers. And those are absolutely key for long-term memory.
Okay, so that's why you can remember the plot of a movie you saw years ago.
But struggle to recall, bullet points from a PowerPoint slide you saw last week.
Guilty as charged. That makes so much sense. I definitely remember struggling with complex economic ideas back in college until one professor used this analogy, a running story about a baker and a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, supply and demand just clicked. It wasn't abstract anymore.
Precisely. The story made it tangible.
So for you listening, when you're trying to absorb something new, maybe look for the story in it. Find that narrative thread.
Absolutely. Or even try to frame it as a story for yourself. And that leads us perfectly into the next point from the blueprint. Use examples from real life.
Right. Storytelling's best friend, you called it.
Pretty much.
It seems kind of obvious, maybe. Use real examples, but how often do we get information that's just purely theoretical, no connection to our actual lives?
Way too often. And real-life examples are just crucial because they bridge that gap, right, between the abstract concept and, well, practical understanding.
They ground it.
They ground it in something relatable, something verifiable.
Yeah.
When you hear about a self-made millionaire, a real example helps, like maybe someone who dropped out of college built a tech giant from their garage.
Okay, yeah.
That makes a concept like grit or innovation feel tangible. You can almost see it. It helps you visualize what those habits actually look like in action.
It's the difference between hearing someone say, oh, you need to practice consistently.
Right. Which is fine, but abstract.
Versus hearing, say, Elon Musk reportedly slept on the factory floor during critical production pushes.
Exactly. The second one gives you this concrete, almost visceral image, and it reinforces the abstract idea of dedication or consistency in a way that just stating the principle doesn't.
That is powerful. It really connects the dots for you, the learner. You stop just intellectualizing it, and you start to see how these ideas actually function out there in the world. It
Hmm.
reminds me of trying to learn a new practical skill, like maybe learning a musical instrument or a foreign language. You can read the theory.
Read the grammar rules, yeah.
But hearing a native speaker actually use a phrase in conversation or seeing it used in a movie or a real situation, that's where it suddenly sticks. That's the real learning.
Spot on. And that brings us neatly to the third core directive in this blueprint.
Yeah.
Make it beginner-friendly.
Totally. Beginner friendly. This feels vital for just accessibility, right?
Finally.
But what does that really mean? Is it just about avoiding jargon? Or is it something maybe deeper than that? Is it about, dare I say, dumbing things down?
No, not at all about dumbing things down. I think it's much more about reducing cognitive load.
Cognitive load. Okay, unpack that.
Well, when you're learning something brand new, your brain is already working really hard, right?
Sure.
If the information comes at you in this overwhelming, super complex way, packed with jargon you don't know, assuming knowledge you don't have, your cognitive load just skyrockets.
Then you just zone out or give up.
Pretty much, you shut down. So beginner-friendly really means scaffolding the information, building it up piece by piece, starting with the absolute fundamentals.
Okay, building blocks.
Yeah, it means breaking down the complex stuff into, like, digestible, manageable chunks, making sure each step is clear before you move on to the next one. It's really about building confidence.
Ah, confidence. That's interesting.
Yeah, making the learning journey feel achievable,
Yeah.
not intimidating. That's why any decent coding tutorial starts with "Hello World," right? Not complex algorithms on day one.
Right. You start simple, build success, then move on. It's about meeting the learner where they actually are and then guiding them step by step.
Precisely.
So for you listening, when you're tackling a new, maybe complex topic, think about how you can make it beginner-friendly for yourself.
Good point.
Can you find explanations that are simpler? Break the big idea down into smaller pieces. Maybe seek out resources specifically designed for beginners, ones that start from square one.
That self-awareness in learning is key. Okay, so if we zoom out a bit,
Yeah, let's connect the dots.
what this whole blueprint for sharing success habits really hammers home is just how critical the delivery method is. How much the way information is presented impacts whether it actually lands, whether it sticks, or just flies by.
Yeah, even without knowing the actual 5 habits they were planning to talk about.
Exactly. Just understanding their emphasis on using stories, real-life examples, and making it beginner-friendly, that shows us a really powerful model. A model for making pretty much any complex topic understandable and actionable.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to learn things?
Well-
I think it means that whether you're trying to master a new skill for work or maybe prepping for a really critical meeting or honestly just satisfying your curiosity about some new field, the method you use to learn or the method used to teach you matters a lot.
Immensely.
This blueprint for the millionaire habits, it isn't just about what to learn. It's a lesson in how to learn it effectively, how to absorb information in a way that genuinely resonates, feels accessible, and actually sticks around.
It really underlines the importance of presentation and structure in communication,
Definitely.
which I suppose raises an important final thought or maybe a question for you to consider.
Okay.
Given what we've just unpacked about the power of storytelling, the grounding effect of real-life examples, and the importance of a beginner-friendly approach, how might you consciously apply these principles, not just when someone else is teaching you, but in your own process of learning and understanding? How could you use these ideas to better grasp or maybe even share knowledge on any topic you encounter in your daily life?